Welcome to the Style Stories podcast with me, your host, personal stylist Lisa Gilby. This is a podcast that discusses style, confidence, and fashion. And today's episode is all about the new power dressing or soft power dressing, and also the brand of the moment, which is Me+Em. I felt really compelled to create a podcast episode around this. I've been recommending Me+Em for my clients for quite a while now. And just to say, I am not sponsored by Me+Em. This is completely my own thoughts on this subject, because what's happened is we've got a new government. We've got a Labour government. This happened just on Friday morning last week, so very, very recent. And most of the women, actually, I would say, even the presenters who are presenting the news as Keir Starmer and Victoria Starmer entered number 10 for the first time, were wearing Me+Em. So the presenters presenting it and Victoria Starmer were all wearing Me+Em. So it's something that I want to talk about today. But first of all, before I go into why I love the brand and why they really seem to have cracked the style code for busy women, I want to talk about how workwear has changed, because it's 20 years now since the time of the fitted, tailored shift dress. Up and down the country, you could see this block colour fitted shift dress from LK Bennett or Roland Moray, if you're a bit more affluent, in boardrooms up and down the country. And it was the thing to wear if you were working in a corporate environment, if you were a lawyer, if you were in a really formal work environment, and even less formal as well. It was kind of like a uniform, really, for boardroom women. So they would be worn with nude tights. Shock horror. If you listen to this podcast, you'll know I cannot stand nude tights. I can't really stand tights full stop, but particularly flesh-coloured tights. Awful. So worn with those and with court shoes as well. That was a look. It was a professional look, and it was known as power dressing. Going way back, real power dressing, old school power dressing, was wearing a pinstripe suit in the city with a Thomas Pink shirt and cufflinks. That's going really way, way back. We have evolved a lot since then. Since the pandemic, since dress codes have relaxed, since hybrid working has become more accepted, flexible working is a lot more accepted, and people are splitting their time between home and going into the office, which means that our wardrobes have kind of blended in a bit. So you don't really have necessarily just, rows of suits in your wardrobe. Those days are gone where you would wear a navy grey or black suit to the office full stop, or a tailored shift dress. So that was 20 years ago. However, I still find these dresses in people's wardrobes when I do wardrobe edits. And in fact, only last week, I uncovered one in someone's wardrobe. And, she doesn't even wear it anymore. She just keeps it in there because it is quite difficult to get rid of clothes that you think are perfectly good. They might have cost a lot of money at the time, and you feel guilty about getting rid of them, even when you don't wear them anymore. And the problem with that is it's just clutter, and it means it's harder to see the good outfits that are in there. But the thing with these dresses is it really is now, it feels old hat. It feels like a dated look, and dressing at work has changed, it's evolved, it's moved on. We've all moved on. Silhouettes change, and I know fashions move fast. Fashions, thankfully, don't move as fast as they used to. It's more of a jog than a sprint these days, which is a good thing. But, silhouettes have changed. Trousers are now wider, and dress shapes have changed. That fitted bodycon dress just looks a bit dated. So I want to talk about some alternatives to a work wardrobe, and what I think and what I recommend to my clients, what they need to get a really fantastic functional work wardrobe that makes you look professional and pulled together. So if you work in this kind of corporate environment, it's often you're going to be asked to do a panel talk, fairly regularly, to get up on a stage, maybe to host a really important meeting, to deliver results, that kind of thing. And that is often on camera as well. So it's important to have certain things in your wardrobe that are going to support you to be able to do your job, which is probably high pressured and maybe often high profile as well. Only last week, a client that I'm working with and I'm shopping with next week, she told me that she was on a panel, And she looked around left to right, and with the other women, she just felt that she looked dated. She felt that she didn't look as cool as the other women, even though they looked a bit more modern and up to date. They still looked polished and professional. So it's about finding that sweet spot in the middle. So you don't look too formal, but you definitely look professional. You definitely look pulled together and polished as well. And I think that's what we all want to achieve from our work wardrobes. But you don't look really stiff and unapproachable. And that's a new power dressing, which is being coined and termed as soft power dressing. So silhouettes have changed. The look of clothes has softened, and it is much more acceptable to come to work wearing more casual clothes. That is just a fact. But, go too casual and you'll veer into scruffy. Go too formal, and like I've just explained, you'll veer too far into stuffy and kind of, looking unapproachable, which is also not where we want to be. So we want to be in the sweet spot in the middle. Now, this is something that I really, really noticed when Victoria Starmer entered number 10 last week for the first time. I did have a bit of a tear in my eye at that moment. It was a real historic moment. And she was wearing the brand of the moment, which is Me+Em. She was wearing a poppy red dress with split sleeve, like cap sleeves that have a split in them as well, so they fall really elegantly and flatteringly over the tops of the arms, with cream top stitching on the top of the dress, so around the waistband and also down the sides, a nice cream top stitch on a poppy red dress. That dress, £275, has since sold out over the weekend. Me+Em have had a 300% increase in inquiries and on their website since Miss Starmer, Lady Starmer, wore that look into number 10 on Friday. The presenters, so they were also wearing, the presenters on TV reporting on that historic moment were also wearing Me+Em as well. A couple of them I noticed. Carol Middleton at Wimbledon last week, she was wearing a cream Me+Em jacket. Lady Starmer the night before, on the night of the count on Thursday, was wearing a cream Me+Em jacket. Angela Rayner has been seen. She's been wearing the bright orange. She's very good at strong colour. The bright orange sort of gathered dress that is a really modern silhouette, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And also she's been spotted wearing the turquoise Me+Em suit as well. And Katie Holmes in America, she's been spotted wearing the boucle dress by the label Me+Em. And Me+Em are actually going to be going over to America. They've already opened 2 boutiques over there, and they're setting their sights on California next. They're absolutely smashing it. They seem to have cracked the dress code and the style code for busy women who work in, quite high profile academic and professional roles, and women who want to look pulled together and polished, but also want to look modern and up to date as well, and not stuffy and boring and corporate. So I just want to go through some of the reasons why I think they've absolutely smashed it and nailed it, and also to give some maybe cheaper alternatives, and also my tips on what you really do need in a work wardrobe to make it functional and make it work. So one of the things that a spokesperson said for Me+Em, because they've been approached obviously by the media, because they've been everywhere in recent days, really high profile, all over the TV on these prominent women, and they said they make sure that their clothes that they create are always camera ready. They don't want their customer to worry if they get called up to do an important presentation or a media appearance or whatever it is you have to do in your job. You want to have the things in your wardrobe that you can easily and quickly pull out, so you can put on without much thought in the morning, get your kids off to school, or, do your commute, whatever it is you have to do, hold 25 meetings. It's hectic and it's busy. And what you need is an easy, instant answer each day to what to wear, and not be rummaging through lots of clutter and things that you don't wear. This brand delivers because they've thought about everything. They really, really have. And their clothes are, like they say, camera ready, really good quality fabrics. They do lots of empire line dresses. They make dresses that have ruching at the front that are flattering on tummies, flattering on boobs. The cap sleeves that they do over and over again, I know as a personal stylist, are one of the most flattering shapes you can have on a sleeve. So a lot of women worry about the top of their arms. And not all women, some women love their arms, but some worry about the top of their arms. Well, this cap sleeve is a really, really great way to look elegant and just to cover the top of your arms. So they really do a lot of cap sleeves. They do modern shapes. So we talked about it's 20 years ago since the kind of Roland Moray, LK Bennett tailored shift dress that was all over boardrooms up and down the country. We've moved on from that. Now it's nice to have a fit and flare dress maybe. So fitted on the top and then flared out on the bottom. They do lots of those kinds of shapes. They do maxi dress shapes. They do different lengths, but a length to look for is just below the knee or above the knee, or maxi, not that strange, length that you used to get that just sort of hit the knee. I think that's rarely flattering on anyone, to be honest. So modern shape dresses, quiet and stylish details. So if you look at the range, they have amazing patterns, but they have, like Lady Starmer wore, this poppy red dress with the cap sleeves with the cream top stitching. It's not a brand that shouts. It's not a loud brand. It's definitely quietly understated. It's not like quiet luxury, which is another term that we've been hearing a lot since the TV show Succession. That's all very, very kind of plain luxe, cashmere, really expensive, but completely low-key classic clothes. Me+Em has a bit more of a fashion edge to it. So this is probably why I'm really attracted to it as well, because I'm not a natural classic dresser and I find very, very plain clothes a bit boring, to be honest. I know Joseph, for example, does amazing tailoring. Theory does amazing tailoring. And for certain people who are classic dressers, those brands are going to be perfect. But if you want a bit more personality and a bit more funk to your workwear, then this is the brand for you. So quiet, stylish details, brilliant use of colour. I've said already, Angela Rayner, if you look at her style evolution, you can easily see it in the papers. She's gone from wearing really quite sort of, casual and you can tell not as expensive clothes. And now she's sort of power dressing, in inverted commas, in strong, bold colours and higher quality clothes as well. Now, obviously, she's got the budget, so that's going to be, something that's more accessible to her now. But, using colour, for example, is a really good way to power dress, because when you wear block colour or strong colour, you look more authoritative. Muted, softer colours make you more approachable. If you're doing some kind of TV show or presentation or whatever it is, if you go for a block, bright colour, that's going to look really, really great on camera. And Angela obviously knows that. I don't know if she's working with a stylist, but she's definitely upped her style game. She was wearing the Me+Em turquoise trouser suit last week in the papers and on TV. They do excellent trousers. I've just mentioned the trouser suit. They do the most amazing wide leg trousers there as well. So, this is a modern silhouette. If you want to update your work wardrobe, if you want your wardrobe to, if everything's feeling a bit dated, a really good way to take your wardrobe from feeling dated to feeling fresh and modern is to look at the cuts of clothes that you're wearing, the cuts of trousers specifically. Wide leg trousers are everywhere. They're elegant. They honestly, genuinely work on everyone. So, go for a high waist. Even when you're petite as well, people say, I'm only 5 foot, I'm 5'1". I can't wear wide leg trousers. That is not the case. They definitely have trousers for everyone and wide leg trousers on Me+Em. The high waist with the wide leg is actually really, really magical at elongating your legs and making you look taller. And if you can tolerate a heel, to put a bit of a block heel on as well, it's just a really gorgeous, modern, professional silhouette. And also they do layering really, really well. So this is a great way to look styled, to look pulled together. I've talked a lot on the podcast about jackets and how important I think jackets are in the wardrobe, because if you've got a selection of jackets, you've got an instant selection of outfits. So even if you're allowed to wear jeans and a t-shirt, for example, to the office, throw on a really stylish jacket, maybe an oversized blazer or a boucle jacket. Boom, that's the third piece you're adding to your outfit. That means you've got an outfit. So, that's the third piece that makes it into an outfit. Add some accessories, have a great tote bag, and you just look polished, pulled together, but also low key as well, and not too try hard and not shouty or any of those things, which a lot of us don't like to look like and don't like to dress like. So layering is something that Me+Em do really well. For example, they'll have shirts and blouses that work together with a cashmere tank top or a lamb's wool tank top. So you can pair them together or you can wear them separately. They even have pussy bow blouses where the pussy bow, the tie around the neck, is removable. So if you don't feel like wearing that one day, you can just take that off. You can use it as a belt or you can add it on. So really versatile, thoughtful styling. And things are meant to work together. It's almost like a kit. It's almost like Lego. Lots of their clothes kind of fit together and blend together. So they do a drop every 4 weeks. They send out a magazine as well. And there is excitement around that drop every 4 weeks. And they create outfits in their catalogue and they create outfits on their website full of inspiration to put things together that can be mixed and matched, all as a whole outfit, or blended in with things that you've already got in your wardrobe. So if you're wearing a blouse and then you put a tank top on, you look like you've considered your outfit. It looks more intentional. It looks like you've put something together. So again, this is another genius way they've come up with, cracking this style code for busy women. Boucle jackets is also something they're really famous for and really great at. So I love a boucle jacket. I love wearing a really smart boucle jacket with kind of baggy distressed jeans, because for me that's that perfect high-low juxtaposition of an outfit, which is a recipe I go to again and again. So I'll wear something street, scruffy, casual, and I'll pair it with something classic, always doing the opposite. So together it makes a really lovely balanced outfit, because outfits are, they are recipes, and it's, how you wear things as well that creates interest. And if you're wearing opposites, and opposites attract, as we know, if you're wearing opposites, you've then got a really interesting outfit there. So boucle jackets that Me+Em do work brilliantly. And as I've said, Lady Starmer was wearing the cream short sleeve gorgeous jacket they've got in their collection at the moment at the Count on Thursday night, before they'd formally announced that Labour had won the landslide success that they did. So check out the boucle jackets. I think I've really explained, why Me+Em are the brand of the moment and why they have absolutely nailed this soft power dressing for people who are a bit more interested in bringing some style and personality into the workplace. If you haven't got the Me+Em budget, their dresses are kind of £350, but the boucle jackets are Chanel-esque, but a fraction of the price. So you're looking at maybe between £275 and £350. It's well worth, if you've got a corporate job and you're quite senior, investing in a few pieces like this, because the cost per wear that you'll get is going to be brilliant, rather than having lots of, cheaper, ill-fitting work clothes in your wardrobe. It makes total sense to look at how you are coming across at work, how you want to be seen at work, and how you want to feel in your work clothes. And people often don't step back and think about that. I think a lot of us want to have a bit of style about our clothes at work. It's not about reaching for that boring grey suit and a white shirt anymore. It's about enjoying fashion, you can show that you're interested in fashion and definitely still be taken seriously. And this is something I discussed on the last episode of the Style Stories podcast with Lisa Marinelli, who is a corporate lawyer. She's very successful in her field. She's a board advisor. She wears really quite high fashion clothes to the workplace, and it's a traditional role. It's more of one of the traditional environments to work in, but you definitely do not have to stick to this old school power dressing formula anymore. And, really, really have some fun. And I know that for some people that might put them into a bit of a spin, because it does require a lot more thought, a lot more planning to have a wardrobe with smart separates in it, a mix and match selection of smart separates. Another reason why Me+Em have nailed it, because that's how they think of their whole collection, as smart separates that work together. And again, I'm definitely not being sponsored by Me+Em. I would love to be sponsored by Me+Em on the podcast, but this is all coming from my own head and just from working with clients I've been a personal stylist for 14 years. I work with lots of lawyers, bankers, hedge fund people, really senior, very, very senior people in business. And this is definitely a go-to brand for me. You know, I do love Jigsaw. I do love Theory. I do love Joseph, those sorts of brands for my professional ladies. But this is definitely up there with one of the best, without a doubt. So I would say if you haven't got the Me+Em budget, then look for boucle jackets in Zara, also Mango and Jules. So Jules is quite a preppy brand, and they tend to do some really great little boucle cropped jackets. This kind of thing, cropped boucle jackets, look great on camera. Absolutely, because they don't crease when you sit down. They kind of sit quite neatly, and the sort of heavy tweed or the boucle looks fantastic on camera, on stage, looks polished, all of those things as well. So highly recommend having one of those in your workwear wardrobe. For trousers, again, if you haven't got the Me+Em budget, look at Whistles. Whistles have always been great. They do a really good side zip wide leg trouser. So if you've got bigger hips and a tummy, a zip at the side looks really good and can be more flattering than having a zip at the front of your tummy. So side zip, wide leg trousers, I would go and have a look at Whistles, and they come in crepe as well, which is great for travel. And again, it's great for any appearances or high profile events that you might be doing at work because they don't crease. Jigsaw I love for their dresses. So they do really fashion forward shapes, fashion forward dresses in lots of great colours as well. They're not afraid of colour. They do an autumnal palette, but they also do lots of bright colours as well. So do look at Jigsaw for dresses, for work in a professional environment, and also tops as well. Jigsaw are fantastic for tops. Cezanne I really love for tops. They do fantastic tops. Lots of lace as well. So if you're a feminine dresser and you like to embrace dressing in a feminine way at work, which I love to do, it's nice to do that juxtaposition thing again. You can wear quite a traditional suit, but then do that opposites attract thing. And with the traditional suit, wear a really super feminine lace or broderie anglais blouse, because that then is an unexpected combination. You would think you would put the more traditional suit with a button-up shirt, for example, with stripes, but turn it on its head, wear it with something a bit more unexpected. That creates a more stylish outfit and makes you feel feminine as well, but still that professional, polished and pulled together look. So tops from Cezanne, tops from Jigsaw are really, really good. So that's my recommendation really, Me+Em, but those other brands as well, for getting a really fantastic workwear wardrobe that's going to be full of smart separates that help you to look polished. If you haven't looked at your wardrobe for a while, it's a really good idea to step back, take everything out, really ask yourself, are you going to wear those things again? Are you hanging on to clothes that you no longer wear that are now just clutter? Are you hanging on to lots of stilettos, court shoes that you're never going to wear again? Are you hanging on to these tailored dresses? You know, just because something came from Armani 20 years ago, it doesn't mean it's eternally stylish. Does it suit you today? What image do you want to project at work? How do you want to be seen at work? How do you want to feel in your work clothes as well? All of this is so important to get to the why behind how you want to dress. We've all evolved. We've definitely moved on in the last 20 years. Workwear has moved on tons. And you know, the great thing about a wardrobe is it does have a lot of joy in there. Once you get it right, it is one of the more joyful parts of life. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you need any help with your wardrobe, you can send me an email, lisa@lisagilbystyle. I'm now taking bookings for September and October for wardrobe edits and for personal shopping. So if you're a professional in the UK, I can help you with your wardrobe. If you are outside the UK, I can help you with your wardrobe on Zoom. Just check out my website, lisagilbystyle.com, and I'll have a 60-minute styling session there that you can book directly into my diary if you are outside the UK. So I hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode of the podcast. I'll put links in the show notes. If you're enjoying it, please remember to hit the follow button, and I'd be so grateful if you would leave me a review as well to help me get up the charts. I'll see you next time.